Hello, welcome to the Abersoch Triathlon, held in a beautiful part of the world in Abersoch. It's a fantastic course, tough in places, but it's very rewarding. Kirsty and so Rebecca, are here from Total Tri Training to give you a race brief. Please listen very carefully. There'll be some safety stuff and some general pointers for you of what you need to know. It's all important to help ensure you have a safe and an enjoyable race. You hopefully should have all the race packs through. Do make sure you study those as well. They've got course maps for you, so you know what to do on race day. Registration is open between 5 and 9 on Friday for 2 hours, and also 2 hours prior to each race at the beach, which is at the bottom of Longoff near the beach cafe. To register, you will need your passport or driving license, your race confirmation email, or the credit card you paid at your entry with. If you can't attend registration yourself, then it is important. Somebody can collect the race information for you. You can nominate someone. Your nominee needs to provide a letter written and signed by you, giving you permission to collect everything. And they do need a copy of your online order as well. Make sure you've given your nominee a letter signed by you telling us that you give them permission to collect all of your stuff. Start times, just to remind you in case you've forgotten, the Olympic race starts at 8 AM. The sprint race is at 2:30 PM, so it's a nice lie-in for those doing the sprint. Make sure you are ready to race 15 minutes before, because nobody likes a last-minute faff. There's loads of details on where to park in your race pack, so make sure you have a good look so you know where you're going, and that's one less stress to sort out in the morning. Make sure you know where you're going to park. Your transition times, the Olympic distance transition opens at 6:30 and it closes at 12:30, and the sprint distance transition opens at 1 PM and will close at 6 PM. Couple of other points: if you're going to pull out of the race at any point, either during the race or before the start, make sure that you let race control know so that they know. And if at any point in the day you do see someone in trouble that needs help, then make sure you tell a marshal so they can get them help. And then I'm going to hand over to Kirsty, who's going to tell you what you need to do with all the kit you get when you register.
Okay, so when you turn up at registration and you collect your race pack, there's going to be a few items in there. I'm going to go through absolutely everything because we will have some first timers here on the day. So most important item is going to be your timing chip, which has to be attached to the strap and your left ankle. That's going to have to be on your left ankle before you go into transition area. It will be checked and you don't take that off again until you've crossed that finish line. It is just important to mention that if you lose that timing chip, there is a £50 charge. They are not cheap. So that comes from the timing company. And that will then, that cost will be passed on to you. So make sure you look after that timing chip. What else is in your race pack? So lots of stickers. You will have a sticker that needs to go on to your bike helmet. And we are asking that that goes onto the front of your helmet, please. There will also be that nice bike sticker that goes onto the seat post. So that's a seat post flag type sticker. So that needs to be put onto your bike before you rack your bike into transition. And you'll also get 2 race tattoo numbers, which we're asking please to go onto arms, not onto legs. So they go onto, so one onto each arm. And then also you'll get your race number. So that will be a bib number, which the best thing to do with that is to attach to a race belt if you can. That then obviously allows you to wear your race number on your back when you're on the bike, and then on your front when you are on the run, but also without pinning that on previously, allows for typical British weather that if you need to do a full change of kit, so putting on a jacket, etc., then your race belt can just go over the top. And the last thing that you will have will be your swim cap. Really, really important that you do wear that for the swim because it is essential for the swim safety team to make sure that they can clearly see all of the competitors in the water. So that's everything that you will get in your race kit. Other notes to be aware of for the swim is a wetsuit swim that is compulsory. Obviously it's a sea swim, so we do need to make sure torso is covered with a wetsuit. And as I said, with your race pack, you do need to make sure that you wear your swim hat at all times. You're allowed to dive, that's absolutely fine if you're confident to do so. And then the only other thing is if you do come into any difficulty whilst you're on that swim, same protocol as with most races, you're going to turn yourself onto your back, raise your arm into the air and just have a clenched fist so that one of the safety crew can see that you're in need of assistance and they will come straight to you. If you're swimming and you can hear some short, sharp whistle blasts from the safety crew, that is just a signal to say that they are making their way to somebody who needs some assistance. So please just be aware of that. They won't deliberately try and get into your way, but make way for them so that they can get to the person that needs assistance as quickly as possible. And then obviously if you do pull out of the swim and that is you, make sure you just return back to race control, so to HQ, and let them know that you have withdrawn from the swim section. Okay.
Thanks, Kirsty. I think just to note on the swim as well, weather's been beautiful. It's going to be tropical water temperature for October, so you're super lucky. Weather is going to be amazing, so it's going to be pan flat, I know for sure. Don't panic, stay calm. If you're not a confident swimmer, don't run off with everybody else at the front. Let all the mad men and women go and stay at the back, out the way, get in, acclimatise and have a nice start to your swim, nice and relaxed. Don't panic, stay calm. When you get out the swim, remember, you don't know where the photographer is, so get your biggest smile ready so your photo's good. That's all that matters. And on into transition. To state the obvious, it's a sea swim. You may or may not have had a couple of accidental mouthwashes with salt water, so I would recommend maybe having a little drink of water ready to swirl your mouth out just to get the salt out. Make sure you've still got your timing chip on and it's nice and safe, because we don't want to lose it, because you will have to pay £50 if that gets lost, and it should be on your left ankle. There are some metal matting and some small stones when you're going to transition, so be careful. If you're in a relay team, your helmet must stay on the bike until the timing tag has been put on the cyclist's left ankle, and that is super, super important. You will get a penalty if you do not do that. Not touch your bike until you have helmets on and you've swapped your timing chips. If you're not in a relay, same point applies. Do not touch your bike until you have your helmet on. And that's for all competitors, and you need to make sure your helmet's fastened as well before you touch your bike. No nudity transition. Hopefully the weather will be warm, but not that warm, so please stay covered. And please do not ride your bike in transition, so you need to make sure that you get to the mount line before you try and mount your bike. And that's really important. It will be really clearly marked where the mount line is, and if you're not sure, check before you get on your bike. There'll be loads of people there to ask. This is a brilliant course. My advice would be have a think about whether you're going to do the flying squirrel when you're coming out of T1, or are you going to put your bike shoes on in transition and then just clip straight in. There is a hill pretty much straight out of T1. You haven't really got much time to get your bike shoes on, so I would suggest, unless you're super confident and super quick, you put your bike shoes on in transition and then clip in at the mount line. On that same note, make sure you are in an easy gear to go uphill. You literally go straight uphill out of transition. So onto the bike. You're all ready, you've had a think, you've checked the weather. Hopefully it's going to be boiling hot and you've got your sun cream on, but if it's a little bit of rain forecast, have a think about whether you're going to put a jacket on or not for the bike. And there's a short, sharp hill, as I've said, out of transition, be in the right gear. You are responsible for your own safety on the bike. are some closed roads, but some of the roads are not closed either. So you need to be aware of vehicles, and you need to abide by the highway code. Be safe. So don't take any risks and be safe. If you get stuck behind traffic, it will normally only cost you 30 seconds. Take the opportunity to have a little sip of your drink and then get down and start racing when the car's gone. Not to take any unnecessary risks. Keep an eye out for potholes. There are some on the course. As many as possible have been marked with red paint, but please watch out for any others. Bike course is really easy. It's all marked with bright yellow arrows, so just follow the directions. There's loads of marshals on the course. They will point that out for you. Remember, if you are doing the sprint, it is 1 lap. If you're doing the Olympic, it is 2 laps. It is your responsibility to know what lap you are on if you're doing the Olympic. And the marshals won't know whether you're on lap or one or lap 2, so you will need to know whether you're going to go round for another lap or go into transition. There is a super exciting mid-bike course competition where there's a 3-kilometre hill climb called the King of Minto. There is either £1 million prize or a crate of beer, depending who you believe, for the fastest man or the fastest woman, and the fastest woman, sorry, I should say, King of Minto. So have a think about whether you're going to go for that prize before you start. That's a good challenge in the middle of a race. Racing and drafting is forbidden, so please do not do it. There will be motorcyclists out on the course to check that none of you are sneakily cheating. Make sure once you're coming in off the bike course, you dismount your bike for the dismount line. Again, it'll be clearly marked and there'll be marshals on there for you. Once you are in transition, make sure you put your bike on the rack before you take your helmet off. If you take your helmet off before your bike is on the rack, then you will get a 20-second penalty, and that is non-negotiable and will apply to anybody breaking that rule. It is really important. And that's it for the bike, really pretty straightforward. And over to Kirsty for the run.
Okay, so bikes back into transition. If you are a relay runner, make sure you have got that all-important timing chip attached to your left ankle before you go over the timing mat. Other than that, the run, this is the fun bit. We do just need to make sure that, again, you are responsible for your own safety. As Beck said, there are a few closed road sections, but the majority of it is not. So you need to use your eyes and ears and be aware that there are other road users out and about. Therefore, the race is not allowing headphones, so you must not wear any form of music device. And you need to make sure that you just keep your wits about you. So what to tell you about the course itself. When you leave transition, you're going to head straight down a slip ramp to the beach, and you're going to head out right. Again, super easy to navigate. There will be yellow direction signs directing you where to go. There will also be marshals out to direct you. Hills, there are a couple of small steep hills, nothing crazy steep. They are all absolutely runnable, so just be aware that they are coming, but absolutely you can get up them. And there are a few little steep bits going over the groins as you come back towards the finish, so just be aware that you are going to finish coming back onto the sand. Bex has done this race herself. When you come over that last groin, although it will sap the legs of energy, she says the end is in sight. So yeah, don't despair. Just make sure you've got that smile ready for the camera and you're not pressing stop on your watch. So I think Bex is just going to finish off with a couple more notices. But other than that, from me, have fun, race hard, enjoy.
Yeah, and most importantly, enjoy the race, have fun. Make sure you smile, because it is a scientific fact. It does make you go faster. So, and you never know where a photographer's stood. For those that are gunning for prizes, it is very important that you go to the prize giving, otherwise you will not receive your prize. It is at 12 noon at the finish gantry for the Olympic distance and 5:30 for the sprint distance prize giving. So make sure you attend. Good luck if you win the beer for the a mini hill climb mid-race. And yeah, that's all from Kirsty and I. Good luck. And yeah, anyone needs any advice, then get in